fucking idiot! What makes a game fun? This is a relative question. A lot of people are drawn to great graphics, maybe an immersive setting, or a cinematic story. That's the great part about video games, is that no matter what your specific taste is in games, there's always one for you. Now with that in mind, let me take you back to when I was a wee lad. My only video game console was a Sega Genesis, and I was only allowed to play it if I behaved well at church that Sunday. Then I can indulge in my Golden Axe, Sonic, Toe Jam and Earl, and the classic NBA Jam. But then Christmas came around and I entered the era of the Sony PlayStation. The future was now. I was instantly in love. Now granted, the PlayStation belonged to my two older brothers, not me. So I only got to play it with their permission. They were always good at putting me in my place. So when I actually got their permission, or when I snuck in their room while they were out doing weird high school stuff, I entered a world I've only dreamed of. I mostly played Twisted Metal, Croc 2, Spyro, and the occasional CTR if we rented it. It was like some crazy untapped wasteland in my eyes where anything was possible. And then one day, my whole life changed. One day I was playing the Ed, Edd and Eddy Candy Machine Deluxe game on CartoonNetwork.com because I lived by no man's rules. Suddenly, my older brother walks into the house with his girlfriend holding a plastic Walmart bag. He told me to check out this new game he bought. He pulled it out of the bag and I was greeted by this weird looking box art. His girlfriend looked at me in a slightly condescending tone and she said, "Ape Escape, ooh." And I just thought, oh god, that sounds retarded. Ape Escape was a 3D platformer exclusive to the PlayStation 1. You played as a 10-year-old kid named Spike, who was on his way to visit his friend the professor at his lab to see his new time machine with your other friend Jake. Once you get to the lab, you find that it has been taken over by a bunch of apes who have become more intelligent with the use of some mysterious stolen helmets and are led by this albino monkey named Spectre. The monkeys then steal the time machine and go back in time, taking you and Jake along with them. Now, with the help from the professor and his assistant Natalie, you must travel to a bunch of different time periods and capture all the monkeys before they alter history, while also occasionally battling a now brainwashed Jake. This game absolutely shattered everything I had grown accustomed to about video games. First of all, this was the first game I had ever played where you absolutely had to use the analog sticks to control your character. Okay, you don't understand. It took me 2 days to figure this out. The only reason I figured it out was because I threw my controller in a frustration onto the bed and it caused my character to move slightly, which caused me to investigate further. Please don't judge my childhood stupidity. I wasn't used to change. So, you would use the left analog stick to move Spike, and then use the right analog stick to utilize your wide variety of bomb-ass gadgets, which were equipable using the X, circle, triangle, and square buttons. Look at this shit! You got the feckin' hula hoop, remote control car, lightsaber, Comcast, the hydrodynamic spatula, port and starboard attachments, and turbo drive, and more! Now I know what you're thinking.
Gee whiz, fag, how can you call us a platformer if you can't even jump with any of the four-shaped buttons?
Well, looky here, Queer. You use this handy little gizmo known as the R1.
Like what?
This sounds asinine, but let me tell you how goddamn good this feels playing. You could also use R2 if you were weird like Steve Ballmer. Fuck you, Steven. It feels just so natural playing a game with these controls. What's also worth noting is how fun it is to use the multitude of gadgets in your arsenal. They're all used and controlled differently, and it adds a lot more depth to the gameplay, mixing that in with one of the best soundtracks in a game that I'd ever heard. I mean, just listen to this shit! Plus, the atrocious voice acting also makes this game fun to revisit.
Spectre? Apes? What are you talking about? Ow, 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 ouch! My head.
This game was an overall treat for all your senses. Even smell, because my younger brother used to clean the game discs with toothpaste. I mean, didn't you? Made the fucking game smell good. Now, to be fair, I should mention that this game came out around 3 years after Super Mario 64, which basically had already perfected 3D platforming. But as I stated before, I didn't have an N64, just a Genesis and a PlayStation, so I wasn't aware of what this game was or that it even existed. The only 3D platforming game that I've played up to this point was Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. The best one! That was weird. But a lot of puzzles in this game were made more difficult based on the controls, but I can't blame them. Spyro controls like what you'd think a dragon would control like, which is what I'm assuming their goal was. Also, SpongeBob voiced everyone.
We've always had trouble with the gear grinders.
Anyways, let's hop into the first level, Fossil Field. As you can guess, the first world is a dinosaur-themed world. Makes sense because you have to go back in fucking time. There's not a lot to this level. Catch 3 yellow monkeys and avoid the Donkey Kong heads trying to ram your rump. The yellow monkeys are the easiest to catch. Light blue monkeys like to hide in weird places. Black monkeys have Uzis. Green monkeys have rocket packs and fancy goggles. White monkeys are normally in weird places or have weird conditions. Blue monkeys are way too fucking fast, and the red ones... Basic video game logic. Now the levels are grouped up in 3, so don't fret if you didn't see any dinosaurs in the first level. In the second level, you learn how to swim and catch monkeys in the water, forcing them to inhale water into their lungs out of confused shock. And also you have to dodge these Yoshi-Birdo hybrids who spit rocks at you. But you do see your first dinosaur. I always loved it when these old games had animals that live in the environments that you can interact with. It just really appeals to my inner child. I love the charm that the mediocre graphics would create. The dinosaur is swimming around a pool with this big old coin down here, which when you grab it, it makes a which in my opinion is really freaking satisfying. Collect enough of these Spectre coins, as they're called, and you'll unlock some minigames. 3 in total. Ski Kids isn't that great. Monkey Boxing is this bizarre top-down boxing game, but Galaxy Monkey. This game is fucking awesome. It's a simple bullet hell style game where you're in a UFO shooting pigs and tikis and shit. And the best part is that you can connect a second controller and play it co-op. I spent hours playing this game with my brother and my buddy Brayden. God, those were the days. When you finish a level, you get sent to this little time station hub world where you can go to the minigames, save, or you can go and redo the gadget training scenarios, which I used to do all the time as a kid for some reason. I'm pretty sure I was, or still am, clinically autistic. If you go back to the main room, you can push this button to save to your memory card. Old school. Or view your monkey book, which will show you all the monkeys that you've caught. Now here's where things get really interesting. Each monkey has their own different name, stats, and even a little description describing a personal quirk of the specific monkey. I love it when games do this. There's absolutely no reason to put this in, but they did. And I love it when developers do these kinds of things. It lets you know that they had a blast making it and that a lot of passion went into the product. In fact, I still remember a bunch of my favorite monkeys because of this book. Like George, who's seriously on the lookout. Achu, who's afraid of dinosaurs. Dengoy, who ate some yellow snow. And Kyle, fun, sun, shine a new gun. Shadow, who misses his mom and dad, poor thing. And my favorite, Chino, who watches TV in his goggles. Don't know why he's my favorite. I think I just like the name Chino. In fact, my name is Chino in all of my old Pokemon games. True fact. In the remake, Ape Escape on the Loose, all the monkey names and descriptions were changed, and it's stupid. I'm really angry about it, and I'm a petty piece of shit. But they also got rid of Galaxy Monkey. Fuck! So if you see this game, just throw it in the trash. Speaking of the awful remake, my opinion matters. Let's talk about Ape Escape's 2 awesome sequels. I'm not joking. I legitimately think they're fucking groovy. Get it? It's so fucking funny. So now we got Ape Escape 2 for the PlayStation 2. Controls are the same, objectives the same, gadgets are the same, but now the story has to do with pants. And flossing. Oh yeah, and your character is voiced by Ash.
Natalie! I sent the professor stuff okay!
Natalie is voiced by Misty.
What are you doing?
Spike is voiced by Yugi.
Hey, Jimmy's coming back today, right?
So anyways, the story is that Ash, his actual name is Jimmy, is tasked by the professor to send a shipment of pants to the monkeys at a zoo or something while he's gambling in Vegas. But since your character is just as smart as Ash, he sends the helmets from the first game and now Spectre is at it again. So Misty sends you and Pikachu on a quest to collect all the escaped apes before the professor finds out. This game took everything from the original and improved it. However, you do have a couple of new gadgets that aren't anything to write home about. You got the Magnet Glove, Bananarang, and the Super Soaker. They're okay, I guess. One thing that I loved about this game is that a lot of the monkeys are now in costumes, where instead of being grouped by pants color, they're in their own special group. How fancy. This game does have mini games that are not so great.
Let's play monkey soccer!
Oh my fucking god.
It's monkey soccer.
This game blows Galaxy Monkey out of the water in my opinion. It's really weird. The controls and presentation aren't even that good, but I can't stop playing it. You can make a team composed of monkeys you've caught in the game, which is freaking neato burrito if you ask me. I've played this game too much, and when me and my younger brother hit the field head to head, all hell breaks loose. But not on the loose, because that game is fucking garbage. Now we got Ape Escape 3, which gave to us the best soundtrack and got rid of the useless gadgets in 2, and also mechanically improved everything. Plus now you can morph into cool costumes to enhance the flow of the game. You can be a ninja, cowboy, Power Ranger, Robin Williams, and even a fucking monkey! Fuck, this game is great. This game's story has you play as either Kai or Yumi. The obvious choice is Yumi though, since she's apparently a Japanese idol, and every now and then you find a monkey who's one of her fans, and at the sight of you goes blind with lust over your 10-year-old body. Fucking game of the year. So you go off as your chosen hero to stop Spectre, who is now creating television programs starring his ape armada that is turning people into quote-unquote couch potatoes. This time your well-endowed aunt will be filling in for the professor while his brain melts. Again, this game controls great. It's fun to play and listen to this music! Makes my wiener feel funny. The levels in this game are all based on movies such as Terminator, Beauty and the Beast, Indiana Jones, and even Friday the 13th. It's actually quite charming. Hidden in each of these levels are movie cameras, which will film a monkey if you haven't disturbed them yet, which you can view in the Simian Cinema. Collecting all the cameras will allow you to make your own monkey movies, which I've spent a lot more time doing than I'd like to admit. Probably because I'm autistic. Speaking of shit to do in the hub world, let me tell you about the minigames. All of them are pretty good this time around, but now we have this crown jewel that blows Galaxy Monkey and Monkey Soccer out of the goddamn water. What you're seeing right now is fucking real, and possibly the greatest thing ever. Metal Gear Solid. A game where you actually play as a monkey version of Solid Snake, where you have to rescue actual Solid Snake from a monkey version of Revolver Ocelot. This is genius. This is the perfect game, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone go home. We did it. I'm not gonna lie, when I play this shit, I forget that I'm playing Ape Escape 3. That's how immersive it is. I quit the game, and I'm back in the hub, and I'm like, whoa! Oh yeah. I was playing this. It sets a weird standard when a game does this. They create a full game in another full game. Again, it really shows the passion that the devs put into this. I can go on and on with these games. In fact, Ape Escape would be my favorite video game series if it wasn't for all the fucking spin-offs that I don't give a shit about. Like this one where you suck up pants in a vacuum. But the first Ape Escape holds a special place in my heart. I know there were better games back then, but Ape Escape was just a matter of right place, right time for me. And I thank it for that. I miss the days where you could go to the store, see a crazy game, and your child mind will take over wanting to play it. I first played Ape Escape out of curiosity, and what I got was one of the most solid, fun, and creative games I've ever played. I even come back to it today. It taught me that when it comes to a video game, fun gameplay is the most important thing. I love this game, and I feel like everyone should try it. Ape Escape 3 came out in 2005, and every E3 since, I watched Sony's conference clenching my butthole hoping that Sony decides to bring us the new entry into the series that we want but don't deserve. But unfortunately, that day may never come. I'm Riley from Cross Platform Action Squad. Thanks for watching.